Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Monday night money talk with Rich Wall Street Williams. Another episode of Aid. Motive Aid. Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. So Monday, I mentioned some time back that I would be doing Monday money talks. And so that is what we're doing tonight. Just some short phrases. I'm currently reading a book by Steven Siebold. It's called How the Rich Think. And I have to tell you, friend, that is a very good book to get if you want to understand how world-class thinkers think compared to how middle-class thinkers think. And so it's just been a real good read for me, in terms of because I'm interested about any conversation about finances, any conversation about how money works, how to grow money, how to create wealth, how to leave generational wealth. I'm interested in those types of conversations. And so I made a commitment throughout the next few months that on Monday I would have Monday Money Talk. And I wanted to be consistent with that. I got a call to hop on in about another webinar to hop on in about 15 minutes, but I wanted to be true to my word, keep my word, and have this conversation. Now, I want you to be looking for, you want to subscribe to officially Rich Williams, the YouTube, because we're launching officially Rich Williams podcast. So right now we got our marketing team working on developing the logo and the branding and all that kind of wonderful stuff. And so this Motivate conversation, Motivate to me is the idea that you don't really give people motivation. People say, I'm going to motivate you, right? I don't really see that me motivating someone. What I see myself doing is being an aid or an assistant to the motive that you already have. In other words, you got to have your own sense and level of motivation in order for motive aid or motivation to work. Now, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not sure who said that, but I heard that and I thought, man, I'm going to use it the first chance I get. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. In other words, I've been doing business development for over 15 years now. I've had the distinct honor of working with over 14,000 people. I have the distinct honor of helping sales professionals since 2007 to date amass over $153 million in real estate and or sales volume. I'm passionate about connecting with small business owners, entrepreneurs, and sales professionals. So I'm very passionate about helping that particular group of people. It's my mission and goal over the next 3 years to impact and influence and add value to over 1 million sales professionals, small business owners, and entrepreneurs through the platform that I call Motivate. And so in this book, How the Rich Think, the author, Steven Siebold, he walks through about 28 or 29 chapters, I believe it is, on the comparison of how, and he refers to rich people as world-class thinkers, how world-class thinks and how middle-class thinks. Now, listen, this is not a shot at anyone. If you're middle class, you're middle class. This is not a shot at anyone. When I say middle class, I'm simply using a term that Steven Siebold uses in his book, Middle Class. And listen, friend, here's what I say. If you don't like the class that you're in, go to the next one. Right out in college, you know how you could select your courses. You could choose your professor, right? And I remember early on in high school not being very good at math. And then I go to college and I take these advanced math courses. Trigonometry. What? Richard, why? I said, let me out this class. Let me take another class. I want to focus on business, right? So, but again, so the thought is I'm not throwing stone, I'm not creating or presenting shade. If you're middle class, if you're middle class, you don't like the class, go to the next one. Right. And so I'm going to share and we're going to walk through, because I am a firm believer that our income and our outcome is greatly determined by the person that we become. Our income and our outcome is greatly determined by who it is that we become. Now we become who we desire to become by very strategic as it relates to the thoughts that we think. I was at I attended a webinar last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year, and it was a woman who was a very successful behavioral specialist, psychologist. You know, she dealt with the mind and behavior, and she made a statement. She said, if you want to know what's in your soul or your thinking, check out what's in your environment or what's in your life. Whatever is in your life is a product or a result of whatever I've been thinking. See, friend, if you hold it in your head, you're going to hold it in your hand. If you hold it in your head, you're going to hold it in your hand. And so this how the rich think is just that it is giving us clues, it's giving us insight into how rich think. And so I've taken the liberty to capture some of the quotes that you find in the book. One of the quotes says, "The rich understand money flows from ideas, and since ideas are limitless, money is limitless." How about that? How about you and I embracing the idea, the thought that money is limitless? Money is limitless. Money is limitless. Money is limitless. You know, when I was doing real estate sales training, and I was going from one training class to the next, right, and traveling and working with sales professionals, and I love this. Whenever I had new or newer realtors, and I would start the class with them, no matter what the topic was. The topic could be about how to get more listing, how to work with for sale by owners, how to generate leads, how to set up your social media strategy. No matter what the topic was, I always began with this thought. I said, there are two things, there's two mindsets I want you to embrace right now at the very beginning of your sales career, right? Mindset number one is you are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. Mindset number one, you are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar real estate company. Then the second thing I would tell, in this case specifically to realtors, is that it is easy to succeed in real estate. It's hard to fail. Now, when I usually start with that was diametrically opposed, right? Diametrically opposed to the common thought about real estate. Oh, it's hard. You got to grind. You got to, you do have to work. But I start with that mindset. You're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar real estate company. Mindset number two, I would tell them, is that it's easy to succeed in real estate. What would happen if we said it's easy to make money in real estate? What's the whole point? The whole point is that the rich or world class understand money flows from ideas. And since ideas are limitless, so is money. Money is limitless. Money is the perfect employee. Money never calls in sick, is never late, doesn't take holidays. It will work 24/7, 365 days of the year. So the rich understand that money flows from ideas and that it is limitless since ideas are limitless. Second quote that we'll cover, and I'll cover one more and that'll be it. Middle class dreams of having enough money to retire. World class dreams of having enough money to impact the world. Can you see the difference of thinking? Middle class, having enough money at retirement. That's the goal. Well, for some of us, and I'm in that category, that there may not be retirement money, Social Security when I retire. Right? So of course my mindset is I'll never retire. I mean, if you do what you love, I don't call it work. If you do what you love, you don't call it work. It's an opportunity to express the gift that God has given me. So I'm thankful and grateful for opportunity. Rich thinks differently than middle class. Middle class just said, listen, I need to have enough money for retire. I got to have that 401k, got to have that IROF, got to have those stocks, or whatever it is. I got to have that money in place. World-class dreamers, they want to have enough money to impact the world. That's different. See, I'm thinking beyond my neighborhood. I'm thinking beyond my backyard. I'm thinking about my four, right? My four. Who's my four? Me, my wife, my son, my daughter, us four, no more. My four. Well, I think beyond that. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. Think beyond your limitations. Think beyond what you see. Understand this, that we have the ability to become whatever it is that we think and dwell on. If you want to be successful, you can be successful. Now, Earl Nightingale describes success as this. He describes success as a progression towards a worthy ideal or goal. But I'm only talking about how the middle class thinks about money versus um, the rich or the world class. There's a final quote that I'll share, and then I got to log off because, like I said, at 8:30, I got to jump on another webinar. Nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectations unless he or she begins with some wild expectations. So there's another thing I share with sales professionals who are launching, they're putting their business together. Or they want to take their business to the next level. Listen, if I'm new in sales, if I'm new in real estate, I'm a small business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm a sales professional. At the beginning, I'm going to build a 24-lane highway first. What are you talking about? Build a 24-lane highway first. I'm going to construct or dream or visualize a wildly successful business, describe exactly what that looks like. And then I want to back up and put in place the systems, the structures, the organization, the people, the processes that make it happen. But oftentimes we dream small, and we disappoint ourselves big. We dream small and then we disappoint ourselves big. Do you know where the largest place is for potential? You know what the number one resource for potential in the world? The number one resource for potential in the world is the graveyard, because the graveyard is full of untapped potential. Listen, mental health experts tell us, psychologists tell us, brain experts tell us, right? They tell us that we function on approximately 15, 20%, maybe lower, 10%. We function off of maybe 10, 15% of our conscious mind. 85% of our ability lies below the conscious level. Let's look at that a different way. There's an 80-20 rule. The economics, what's the guy name? 1800s, he's the economist. He came up with 80-20 principle. If you know what it is, just share it below. He came up with this 80-20 principle. What's the 80-20 principle? 80% of the results comes from 20% of the activity. But nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectation unless he or she begins with some wild expectations. I'll leave you with this. If we were in a room and I would ask you this question, how many of you, by show of hands, maybe you could put a 1 in the chat or the comment box below, how many of you by show of hands want to win the lottery? Come on, I'll just wait. Drop a 1, put a high five, put a comment in the comment section below. How many want to win the lottery, right? A lot of comments below. Now watch this. And then I would ask, if we were in a live audience, I would ask, okay, how many of you, by show of hands, actually went out and bought a lottery ticket? Now, it's interesting when I ask that, whether it's 100 people or 1,000 people, always about 1 or 2% of the people in attendance actually went out and bought a lottery ticket. What's the point, Rich? I'm glad you asked. The point is this. Everyone had some desire of winning the lottery, but very few of them acted on it by buying a ticket. Right? No one sees beyond his or her wildest expectation. So you had an expectation, you wanted to win, but the exceeding beyond your wildest expectation is to buy a lottery. You got to play to win, right? But I think you get the point of what I'm trying to convey here, and that is this: nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectation. Friend, dream big, right? Dream big. Don't be afraid to create a 24-lane highway. Don't be afraid to have a vision board that's beyond what you could currently imagine. Friend, listen, I personally believe that whatever goals and aspiration that you have, if it doesn't make you nervous, if you don't have butterflies in your stomach, if you're hesitant about telling other people what you vision, what you desire for your life as it relates to success, then I know that that's an indication, from my experience of doing this for 18 years, that's an indication that you are not dreaming big enough. You're just not dreaming big enough, right? You're just not dreaming big enough. So have fun with it, but remember these things. The rich understands how that money flows from ideas, and ideas are limitless. So is money. Middle class dreams of having enough money to retire. World class dreams of having enough money to impact the world. And finally, is nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectation unless he or she begins with some type of expectation. So I appreciate. I'm looking at some of the comments. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you sharing with me what you have to share. I hope you found value. I hope you found value, and this time that we share on Money Talk Monday. It's my desire. It's my desire to get some information that's going to make a difference in your lives. So listen, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is just too crowded. Now, I never look down on anyone unless I'm looking down to give you a hand up. Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. I'll see you.